Hey, everybody, excited that you have joined us today. And Marie Chapian is my guest today. And thank you so much, Marie, for joining me.
I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I will tell you, Marie, oh, the Lord has certainly blessed her. She has so many gifts that God has given her, and she's going to share a little bit about some of those. She is a psychotherapist. She is founder at the Christian Center for Counseling and Fitness. She is a New York Times best-selling author and podcaster. Wow, your plate is full. That's for sure, Marie.
It is. It's true.
Oh, oh my goodness. But if you will, please share with us what has God given you to do in this season, and how is faith helping you do it?
Such a wonderful question. Janet, I'm an author and artist, and I am a coach, also a spiritual life coach,
Mm.
and I have a real full plate. But I've been in ministry for 40 years. Yeah, a long
Wow,
time, a long
long
time.
time. Yes, ma'am.
And so what happens is, especially as an author, um, I have to live a life that is so locked into his heart. Um,
Mm.
to be able to hear him,
Yes.
not just to write nice things, but to know that what he's saying is coming through clearly. It says in Psalms 94, it says, "Does he who fashioned the ear not hear, and does he who formed the eye not see?"
Mm.
So, what is he seeing? What is he hearing?
Mm.
And that's the thing that has to be told, if that's what
Mhm.
he's asking one to do. It's a huge responsibility, and I don't take it lightly at all. So
Mm.
the life I lead is not a normal one. It's one where there's a lot of sacrifice. And in my new book, he calls me his child. I have a meditation in it. It's got 100 meditations with then affirmations. And one of the meditations is on discipline. And we can't be happy without it. It's just not possible
Mm.
to lead a really fulfilled life without a sense of discipline and obeying. Obedience is better than sacrifice, Samuel told Saul. And so what is he saying? What is he saying in the morning? And it was really beautiful just
Oh,
now when we prayed before our meeting.
yeah.
You said to clear out anything that would stand in our way, or
Mm.
to kind of paraphrase what you said, just clean out everything so that we hear
Right,
perfectly from you. And
right.
that's what we should say every
Every
morning when
every
we
morning.
every morning when we
Absolutely,
get out
I
of bed.
agree.
Clear it all out
Renewing
so
every
that.
day.
Yes, yes, yes. And so when we think about having his eyes and ears, what does he see? If I were to ask somebody, for example, um, what's going on in the world today? I can almost guarantee that 10 out of 10 would talk about the terrible things that are going on today.
Yeah, the
But
headlines.
but Jesus said, but and God's in the Psalms, and Jesus said also, in First Peter says, the eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous, and
Mhm.
his ear toward their prayer. So
Yeah.
what are we seeing? What are we hearing? What are we praying? Are we really praying anything beautiful at all?
Mm.
To have the eyes and ears, of God, is to see what's beautiful too.
Right,
It isn't that we neglect or avoid or deny what's not beautiful, but
right.
we see through it with the eyes of God. What is he saying, that's beautiful? There's another meditation in this book, this new book of mine that just came out.
Yeah.
He calls me his child, the eyes and ears of God, talking about, hearing, seeing, wanting to know, what is his mind. And then the
Mm,
affirmation is, I have spiritual eyes to see beauty, to see the beautiful. The world and its
mm,
darkness do not control my vision or
mhm.
what is beautiful to God.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is my calling, and the same works, for my art. I have this month two works of art in museums,
Oh
actually.
my
So
goodness.
I'm just
You
delighted.
do some illustrating too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've illustrated my children's books.
Yeah.
Just a
Oof.
great joy. But there too, there's obedience. You know,
Right.
There's what are you saying? So everything we are, everything we do, everything I do has to be quiet and listen and just be still.
Mm,
He brought me to about 10 years ago. He said to me after I had been writing in my writing studio all day and I was cleaning up, and getting ready, just to sort of close shop. And I heard in my heart, will you sit with me for a while? And those
mm.
words absolutely, Janet, changed my life
Oh, yes.
because I just sat down on my exercise mat, and,
Yeah.
just sat there and I waited. I figured he was going to tell me something. So
Mm.
I sat there and I waited and I waited and I didn't really get any kind of special word
Right.
in my heart.
Nothing.
And
Yeah.
so I sat the next day and the next day, and finally I realized, wait a minute. I think this is what's called meditation. And so I began to research Christian meditation. I went all the way
Mhm.
back to the desert, Ammas and Abbas, those who fled Jerusalem to escape persecution
Mhm.
and hid out in the desert. And all they did was pray and meditate alone as
Oh,
hermits.
yeah.
This tradition was carried on when monasteries were built, um, and then it only became something that the clergy did. The laity wasn't really
Right.
taught,
Mhm. Mhm.
And there are many other religions. I mean, I looked up, I think there are, I don't know how many thousands of meditation forms, but ours is Christian, where we focus on Jesus. And I began to study and I began to sit with him a couple hours a day and just put everything aside to be still
Mm.
and to be still and know that he is God.
Mhm.
And so then I wrote a book called Quiet Prayer, Christian Meditation. And then I wrote another one, uh, uh, Quiet Prayer, 31 Days of Quiet Prayer
Mhm.
for Women. And
Mm.
everything now that I do starts with that stillness. It's
Mhm.
not do. I lead groups and people will say to me, I can't sit still. I can't sit still that long. I mean, my mind races and I think to myself, you're going to do probably better than anyone because that's what I was. You know,
Ah,
I have a lot of energy and my
yeah.
mind goes, but to clear out that mind clutter, Janet, to be able to just
Mm.
be still in his presence
Mm.
absolutely changed everything for me because then you see what happens is our lives become less important. Like
Mhm.
my life, for example, since we're talking about my process, um, my life becomes less than his. My will has to become his. It has to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe sometimes his will, like Brother Lawrence wrote, if I pick a blade of grass up from the ground, I do it in the name of the Lord and unto him. Well, that's really reducing life to its very, very smallest. Despise not
Mm.
small things, the word says. So I I just see everything in terms of his will.
Mm,
Like you said in your prayer, remove everything that would get in
yeah,
the way or
absolutely.
interrupt
Right.
hearing from him. And I think that as an author, I guess I've written some 30 books, maybe more, including the
Wow.
small books, the shorter ones. In everything, to be able to pull aside ourselves and only hear the will of God. Sometimes,
Right. Right.
especially for authors, as I was starting to say, there's the interruption
Yeah.
thing. And I actually coach authors, and it's just amazing. There's something called block. I don't believe in block. I think that there's no such thing as lazy. That what we are is we just don't want to do it.
Mm.
We just don't want to do it, and
That's the
that we could
root of the
change.
problem is we don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to sit down and do that. Oh no, I think,
Oh my
I have to
goodness.
clean the refrigerator. You know, which I've done. And
Oh goodness.
so these things are all connected to our will as his will. I'm
Hmm.
crucified with Christ, nevertheless
Yes.
I live. But the life I live now, is his. And
Yeah.
that takes every single day
Yeah.
of purposing this,
Yeah.
because often it's not my work he has me do to obey. He'll
Right.
have me do something like get up early, or oh yes, this is something new for me, that when I talked about discipline earlier,
Yeah.
he really loves us to be on prayer discipline. Um,
Yes.
where we pray all day. I pray all day,
Yeah.
certainly, but then those particular times at a particular moment of the
Hmm.
day, three times
Hmm.
a day, we pull aside. Well, now I do that with my quiet prayer. Quiet
Yeah.
prayer, you don't ask for anything. You don't talk
Yeah.
about anything. You
Yeah.
simply sit in his presence and be still. It's the
Yeah.
most amazing thing as we
Yeah.
focus on him. And what happens to us is that we learn how to focus in life. In our daily life, it carries over into our daily life, where we're
Mhm.
focused on God. And
Yes.
quiet prayer, where
That's
I
right.
quiet down and I tell myself, right now, you have nowhere to go. You have nothing to do. You
Yeah.
have no work whatsoever. Nobody needs you now. You're just alone with God.
Yeah.
And oh,
Mm.
what freedom. That's whom
Oh
the
yeah.
sun sets free, Janet, isn't that sun
Absolutely.
free
Absolutely.
indeed?
Yes, yes. Well, Marie, thank you so much for being my guest today and for sharing all of this with us, and just appreciate you so much. And I want to put up some information in case there are people who would like to connect with you. She has a website. And also for her art, she has a website. She is on X, which used to be Twitter, and LinkedIn, Facebook, and her podcast, quietprayer.org. Thank you again, Marie. I appreciate you so much being here. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate you too. God bless you. Bye bye
Thank
for
you. Thank you. And thank you all for watching. And if you will, check out Abundant TV Network. It's a great network for you and your family. Have faith and look up, friends, where our help comes from. Bye. God bless.